leader of the APC in Kwara State and Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, has charged the 1,872 inaugurated polling booth canvassers, ward coordinators, secretaries, women and youth leaders at various levels to continue their campaign with vigor because of the present administration that has made so much difference in the lives of Nigerians. The minister in his address at the inauguration of polling booth canvassers and commissioning of the Buhari Oshibajo Project 2019 campaign office in Kwara State urged the canvassers to intensify their campaign so as to dismantle the Kwara House of Fraud.
I welcome you all to this landmark event in the history of our dear state. Today marks the most practical demonstration of our determination to rescue Kwara State from those who have held it by the jugular, those who have pauperized our people, the pathologically dishonest ones who have governed us by deceit. We are inaugurating an army of well-recruited, tested, and trusted canvassers who will go from house to house in each of the 1,872 polling units to tell our people why they must vote for President Muhammadu Buhari, our governorship candidate, and all our other candidates in the 2019 general elections. Gathered here today, Honorable Amechi, 1,872 canvassers representing the 18,720 canvassers that we have all over the state. We are also this morning inaugurating 193 ward coordinators, 193 ward secretaries, 193 ward women leaders, and 193 women and ward youth leaders. By charging all of you, our canvassers at unit level, our coordinators at ward level, our women leaders at ward level, our secretaries and youth leaders, to please go about your campaign. I'm charging you, our victory army, to march forth and dismantle the Kwara House of Fraud, corruption, and deceit.
Alhaji Mohammed assured all the APC candidates in the 2019 forthcoming elections not to waver, as the recent court judgment has not affected the validity of their candidature. He said they remain the authentic candidates of the party.
Please permit me to use this opportunity to assure all our candidates from the governorship, from our governor, inshallah, our senators, our House of Rep members, our House of Assembly members, that the recent court judgment in Ilorin, Kwara State has not affected at all the validity of our candidates. They remain the authentic candidates of the party. Don't mind what the shaku faction is saying. You should all go about your campaign with vigor. Don't fear anybody. Your candidature is secured. While we have gone ahead to appeal this judgment, our candidates should not be distracted by the antics of the desperate opposition in Kwara State.
The minister would describe the canvassers as the army that would demolish the oppressors of the people. He added that it is only people's vote that could unlock the keys to good governance. Alhaji Mohammed said the present administration has done so much to deserve a second term, listing the achievements of the Buhari administration to include social investment programs, government enterprise and empowerment, school feeding program, and a host of others.
These canvassers will be our victory army. They are the army that will dismantle the gargantuan edifice of corruption and misgovernance. This unprecedented move is our most potent weapon against the enemies of the state and the oppressors of the people. Democracy is about the people. People's votes are the most powerful weapon against bad governance, and they are the keys for unlocking the door of democratic dividends. President Muhammadu Buhari has delivered on his promise to revamp the economy, secure our country, and fight corruption. This has made the work of our canvassers much easier because they know exactly what to tell the people. Therefore, tell them President Buhari needs another 4 years to consolidate his great achievements. Don't stop there. Go ahead and list the achievements, and you have more than enough to reel out. Let me just mention a few. The President Muhammadu Buhari administration has taken its investment in people through the social investment program to a great height. All 4 components of the Empower program, all 4 components of the SIP, that is the Empower, the school feeding program, the conditional cash transfer, and the government enterprise and empowerment program are all working. Tell them that this administration today feeds 9,500,000 pupils 1 meal a day every school day in Nigeria. And that this program alone is being operated in over 50,000 schools in 26 states of the Federation, and it has employed over 100,000 cooks. Another byproduct of this feeding program, school feeding program, is that today 6.8 million eggs are consumed every week by these 9,500,000 pupils. Therefore, encouraging our poultry farmers to make more and more money. This same project, these children also consume 594 heads of cattle every week. So this program, apart from feeding the children, encouraging school enrollment, making sure that our children are mentally and physically fit to go to school, is also a catalyst to our economy. This government, tell them, is paying conditional cash transfer of 5,000 naira every month to about 300,000 most vulnerable families. Of course, you are all aware of the trader money, which was launched by the Vice President even here in Ilorin last month. This program provides interest-free loans to petty traders nationwide and has so far benefited over 1.5 million Nigerians. This government has retaken every inch of Nigeria's territory from insurgents, flushed them out of their safe havens, and put them on the run. Road projects are ongoing across every state of the country, turning the country into one huge construction site. If you don't know any, you all know what the condition of the road between Ilorin and Jeba was 2 years ago, 1 year ago. It used to take 3-4 days to travel from Ilorin to Jeba. Today, it takes less than 2 hours. Tell them that. I'm sure you've all seen what we have done on the, not just on the Jeba-Mokwa road, even the Ajashe Ipo of our road, you can testify to this. When I was coming here from the airport, the Honorable Minister of Transportation, Honorable Rotimi Amechi, just informed me that in 2 weeks' time, the wagons and coaches for the new standard gauge Lagos-Ibadan railway would have arrived, and that he has given the Chinese 2 weeks to ensure that the track reaches Iju, and that by February this year, by the grace of God, it will reach Ebute Metta. Therefore, in the history of this country, the 156-kilometer standard gauge road will be commissioned. Already, the Itakpe Ajakuta Warri is on test run. That's another standard gauge rail. Abuja, we commissioned the light rail system, and it has been in operation. We also completed the Kaduna Abuja rail, and today it is the preferred mode of transportation for anybody going from Kaduna to Abuja, and I have also patronized this several times. We have fought corruption to a standstill. Our whistleblowing policy, introduced in December 2016, has since yielded 13.8 billion naira in recovery from tax evaders, 7.8 billion and $378 million in recoveries from public officials targeted by whistleblowers. We enforced the single treasury account, and today over 9 trillion naira has passed through that account from ministries, departments, and agencies. Today, Nigeria is closer to self-sufficiency in rice than any other time. The number of rice farmers rose from 5 million in 2015 to over 11 million. Tell them that we have cut down rice importation. Before, we used to pay $1.65 billion annually. Today, we don't pay anything for rice importation.
Addressing the APC party faithfuls at the occasion, the Director General of the Buhari 2019 Campaign Organization and Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi, stated that the Kwara people are leading the revolution to change Nigeria. Honorable Amechi said, the 2019 election in Kwara State is between the rich and the poor, saying it has become imperative to peacefully take power from the rich and hand it over to the poor.
It's an election between the rich and the poor. I just want to tell you the meaning of auto gain. It just simply means that now the poor have realized that they are tired. If at the end of Obasanjo's government we had $68 billion, Where is the money now? How much do state governors collect? How much do federal government collect? What do they do with the money? Let me tell you my history. Why I understand what is happening. I was born in a small village house. My father was not a graduate. I'm the first graduate in my family. The kind of food I ate was where my parents, my mother would go to market, buy okra, egusi, cook on Monday, and the soup will finish the next Monday. No refrigerator. We warm the soup on Tuesday and eat it ever in the morning, ever in the afternoon, ever in the evening. Warm it on Tuesday, the same. Warm it on Wednesday, warm it on Thursday. No refrigerator. I don't know how many of you realize that clay pots were our own refrigerators. You keep it somewhere, pour water, leave the water there, and you drank from that clay pot. It became cold water for us. The rich men and their children were flying overseas. They were drinking cold water from refrigerators. I don't know how many of you used to watch television from rich, well, not rich men, middle class men who worked. We went to their windows to watch television, black and white. We didn't have it, right? The reason was simply that Nigeria was not a poor country. Nigeria was not. You may say that the population may outstrip the resources. I agree. But if you manage the resources well, the population will benefit from those resources. As the rich men continue to enrich themselves, I became a student at the University of Port Harcourt, and I predicted one day the poor will rise. It will get to a point where the poor will begin to eat big men. I said, it will get to a point where, and this is the joke I saw in the papers, a Nigerian senator went to London, and a Nigerian poor man who became an armed robber because he couldn't go to school went to rob in London and pulled out his gun. And the Nigerian senator said, please forgive me, please, I'm an ordinary senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because the Nigerian poor man said, give me your money. When the man said, I'm an ordinary senator for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, give me what? Our money. That's where we are now. The other party has taken too much. That now the poor has realized that they have taken. So what you're seeing is a modern Tunisia. You know this Arab this is started from Tunisia. A poor man just set himself on fire and the revolution started in all the countries in Tunisia. Today, Kwara is leading the revolution to change Nigeria. Power must return to the poor. You know, one problem we all have is that even we, the poor, will be deceived by them. Do you know how they deceive us? As you're living now, as you're going, you'll be asking the rich men, the big men. See, these big men are in all the parties. The difference between our own party and their own party is that the big men in our party are progressive. They realize that if you don't identify with the poor, they will be eating when the poor start eating the rich. On the other side, they don't care. They want to eat even from the poor. They see you with your small money, they say, come and give me. And deny us the right for our children to go to school. Let me tell you what I tell one of the former head of state when they asked me, why did you get poor men's children to all the schools in Nigeria where big men's school? I said so that the poor men's children can marry big men's daughters. That way we can take money from big men and give to poor men's families. If they don't want to distribute our wealth, we will distribute it ourselves. And to distribute it ourselves, we should stop demanding small change. A man steals 10 million naira, he lines you up, and you take over 1 naira, you begin to dance. Right? There will be this kind of man who are staying in front of his house. You be dancing. You don't know that you are dancing for 1 naira. In his pocket is 9.something billion naira that belong to you. Fine. No, let me tell you one thing. Big men are very scared. They are what? Very scared. This is the last opportunity for big men to allow our resources to remain with us. And that is why we are all gathered here. We are gathered here today to peacefully take back power from the rich and hand over to the... That's what APC stands for. We joined the board to say we must take power from the rich. You know? We joined the board to say, Auto what? Okay. So when you hear APC, you say what? Exactly. We don't tire for the rich. I said in Ibadan that if they left the $2 billion that PDP took, we could have done railway from Ibadan to Ilorin. We are close to Ibadan now. I left Ibadan last night, about 9 p.m. Now, the federal government is looking for money to do rail from Ibadan to Mina to Kano. And we're going to borrow the money. But if they left that $2 billion, not $2 billion naira, $2 billion. $1 billion is what? 360. They took away. Is it 360 or 36? 360. 360. They took away. We would have been able to do the rail up to Ilorin. We can then borrow from Ilorin to Kano. This is your last chance. This is a chance to provide education for your children. This is a chance to be able to buy your own color television. This is the chance for you to be able to visit government house. This is the chance for you to be a governor. That's what your camp should look like. Your camp should look like that. When you put on Toge, you put only behind. It's not about Kwara alone. It's about Kwara, it's about Rivers State, it's about everywhere. The poor must wake up and know that the elites, the thieves, have ganged up against APC. And they don't have the power because they don't have the number. The number is with the poor, and the poor must try to vote on that day. Take your PVC. They shouldn't give you money. Also, that means we are tired of the money you're giving us. We want to take our own. You have a right to take your own, is it not? God bless you.
While delivering a goodwill message at the occasion, the APC governorship candidate in Kwara State, Alhaji Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, stated that it is irresponsible of any government to be insensitive to the issue of security.
I want to digress a bit by saying that calling on the government of the day to resign. And why do I say so? Because of their complicit in the robbery problem. 33 people died, as we know. Forget the money they said they refunded. It's not about money. It's about security. It's shown that the government is irresponsible. Why do I say they're complicit in the robbery? Because senior government officials hid and concealed material facts. They changed number plates. They went to hide evidence in government house. And up till today, nobody has been sanctioned. No government official has been dismissed. That means they condoned the robbery. That is why they are part and parcel of it. APC, and speaking on the matter, initially I was disturbed because I thought the police weren't doing enough on this matter. I went to the police. They received me nicely and I laid my complaint out to them. And they told me that they've been working hard on it. But as I know, this case has to be prosecuted by the State Ministry of Justice, Director of Public Prosecution. All they needed to do was to file a case. But when they came for the case, they saw that the case that was filed could not hold. It was not possible to win the case. So that was why
They sent in a team in, withdrew the case from court, and moved it to Abuja. And when they got to Abuja, they opened the file and saw that simple things like coroner's report was not in the file. So it meant that the case was blind to fail. So that is why they took their time to file a proper case now. Even in filing the case, they still have to hand it over to the state government to prosecute. And we've seen the slowness in prosecution. And that is one of the main reasons you have to return an APC government to power, because we will have a Commissioner of Justice, a Minister of Justice that will prosecute these people, because this government does not want to. APC, security is very important to us, and we must thank the police. We must thank the police. I know the Honorable Minister has thanked them, but we can't thank them enough, because they have brought back sense of security to Kwara. It's a shame that a few months ago there was no single bank in the whole of Kwara South because of insecurity. Every state you go to, you find out that the state government build capacity with the police force. Even if it's vehicles, they give police funding, but in our own state they don't. They give arms to thugs and cult members rather than give assistance to the police. So therefore the whole of Kwara South is wasted. Thank God Offa is coming back. The banks are opening in Offa. But if we go beyond Offa, people travel from Ekiti and Omaron to Oro to Offa to bank. That situation negates our economy. We should build up our IGR. Our IGR today is about 2 billion. Kwara South alone can generate another billion, but it's not being funded, it's not being banked, and a society that is not banked cannot grow. The banks cannot lend money to businesses to grow the economy. So one of our key issues will be security. We're going to bring back security to the states. People will live safely. APC, you've all seen from the by-election which Honorable Ajula won. What happened? They saw a few helicopters flying over the place and they all ran away. That's what happened. And you would notice that they did not accuse INEC of rigging the election. What they said was security was too much. So it shows you that we need security in the states, and we will get it, inshallah, and we've been getting the support we need to get. Now, I commend all of you here for, you're just representative of the whole team, but the work you have ahead of you has been cut for you, and I know you're all ready for the task. Thank you very much for coming.